Hello, everyone. Quick announcement before we start episode 3 of the podcast. We have a really cool giveaway for you all. If you are a fan of Pokemon, you'll definitely want to stick around for this one. Our very first giveaway is 6 shiny Surfetches, all in Pokemon Sword and Shield. To enter, it is pretty simple. Go to our Twitter page, the video game CL1. Like the post that will be related to this shiny Surfetch giveaway, and give us a follow on Twitter. For every 20 new followers, we will randomly select a winner. I assure you that all of these Pokemon are legal. It took me forever to find them. So please give them a good home. So give us a like and a follow on Twitter in order to be in the chance of winning one. Obviously, you will need a Switch account and a copy of the game. Thank you, good luck, and take care. Before I actually start this episode, I have a amazing little fact for you two that I generally only found out this afternoon, which I think is going to absolutely blow both of your minds. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Did you know Hulk Hogan commentated a Pokemon National Championships?
Say what?
That's right. Hulk Hogan actually did do commentary for the Pokemon National Championships 13 years ago.
You found a Pokemon.
How did I not hear about this?
I only found about this afternoon because somebody else on YouTube was like, I can't believe I found this. And there is footage of it. It's the US National Championships 13 years ago. And I'll put the footage in because it's honestly a piece of gold. But I think it must be Generation 3. So we're looking at Ruby and Sapphire. I want to say it's Colosseum, the GameCube game.
Oh yes.
And basically, I think it's Mewtwo. Mewtwo's trying to attack Snorlax, and Snorlax misses a body slam, and all you hear in the background is Hulk Hogan just going, "Oh, Snorlax, wait for the body slap, brother."
Attack from Mewtwo is going to hit for a Fable.
On his heels, he's trying to freeze him out.
And Snorlax is...
Wait a minute, he used a body slam, brother.
But it missed.
That's awesome. Another ice beam. And it's super effective. That was an awesome attack. Oh, he goes for the body slam. And where's the referee?
Wow. That's literally one. I'm so shocked about it, and two, again, why have I not heard about this?
It's okay, Martin. You can watch it on
Exactly.
repeat now.
I'll put it in the video, and then everyone will be blessed with the footage of Hulk Hogan doing commentary.
Blessed or mentally scarred?
Blessed first, and then mentally scarred. Let's go with that.
A bit both.
They're
blessed God, mental.
Anyway, this is your video game podcast, as we now know as the Broken Level podcast. Play it away.
Like every YouTube video would have the same intro music.
Yeah.
Yes.
All have the same. What was it? Let the Bodies Hit the Floor was a big one that a lot of people used.
That's true. Yeah, Let the Bodies Hit the Floor. There was a 3 Days Grace song, if I remember.
I think.
I can't remember the song now. Let's Start a Riot, maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna say something.
There's
like
some
that,
real proper cringy AMV songs that they keep. Oh,
I remember
Linkin Park,
quite a few.
Breaking the Habit.
Yeah.
Oh God, we could do a whole video on that, couldn't we? Just like
cringing
on the old AMVs. Oh my God.
We don't even talk about video games.
No. I actually remember somebody at college once sent me a video, and he was like, "This is the greatest AMV you'll ever see in your life." And it was Kingdom Hearts, and the whole video was like it was Evanescence Wake Me Up. And it was
Jesus.
Sora like trying to wake up in Kingdom Hearts 2. Like he was like, "Isn't this art?" It's like, no, not really.
No, that's a pure
Literally, it was
craziness.
like, "Wake me up." Sora's still sleeping.
To be fair, I would like a whole video of that, but it's just like repeat of that same bit. Just
Oh yeah,
waking
yeah.
up. That's
Just the
it.
whole like all
Yeah,
you
yeah.
need is the guy shouting, "Wake me up," and she'll go, "Wake me up." It's like that's on repeat for 3.5 minutes. That's art.
I can see it. I can see it.
Oh, fantastic. Well, welcome everyone, and apologies for talking about AMVs. Obviously not the start I was hoping for, but hey, we're here. Of course, this is episode 3. We are recording this in August, just after the start of August. Of course, my name is Alex McFarlane. I am your host of tonight's Broken Level podcast episode. With me, as always, are my two brilliant henchmen. Well, okay, one of them's brilliant. I'll let you decide which one. I have.
Well, that's on me.
I have the master of Overwatch is Mr. George Carey.
Okay. I'll take it.
And of course, with me is the man who generally can only play horror games at 30 minutes a time. It's Martin Bannister.
Hello.
Mark,
I'm not. No. Be honest. I'm the type of player who basically slowly go around the corner.
He really is. He really is.
Okay.
I really
I
am.
remember trying to direct him.
See what? We need to get you to watch a. We need to watch you play a horror.
I really
game.
think we should. I
think we should. Now that you've said that, I need to.
I am very, very up for making a streaming Twitch page for us, and because we need to make Martin play a horror. To be fair, this year is the 20th anniversary of Final Fantasy IX, and I'm really tempted to stream Final Fantasy IX. Because I think it's a fantastic game. Obviously, if people are interested in that, please let us know. We'll be more than happy to put a Twitch stream together. We also were thinking about doing some charity streams as well. There's some great causes out there. We will probably think about that further down the line. But if you are interested, obviously, you could contact us via Twitter at the Video Game Club, and you can find us individually on that Twitter page as well. It's not that difficult. I mean, no, it shouldn't be that difficult, should it? Let's be honest. So before we actually start this episode, I would like to give you two a bit of feedback that we got from the previous episode. On our YouTube page, I apologize if I say this wrong, Drunkard Sean commented on our talk about what is the best Resident Evil game. He said Resident Evil 4 or Resident Evil 2 remake, which I think are very good. Very good.
Yeah, that good results.
I think that's a very good opinion. Also, George, great news.
Oh God.
Me and you have achieved the first dislike on our videos since we launched.
Wait, what?
Somebody disliked our Xbox watch-along, Xbox reaction video.
It's okay.
I honestly think it's because they didn't like our Banjo-Kazooie impressions.
Really
They
hated
did our Banjo-Kazooie impressions and the fact that you thought Banjo was,
or
he
was baited by Banjo. He was like, "Oh my God, Banjo's coming! He's coming!" And then there's nothing. There was no Banjo.
Another thought is maybe he just didn't like the thought of Halo Kart.
Maybe you couldn't see the.
You couldn't understand the vision that you had.
I still think it should work. I think there should be a Halo.
Can you imagine that? Just Arbiter, bring me the blue shell.
Oh, they could do like that tag team.
Oh no! Oh
yes.
no!
That could work.
Such a bad game. For anyone wondering, George is obviously referencing Crash Tag Team Racing. God awful game. I don't know why that's a thing.
See, I really liked the game, but the issue was that you could always win.
Oh yes,
easy enough.
Yeah,
because of the shooting.
It was
But the actual game was pretty
It was wonderfully flawed.
funny. But
Like it honestly didn't take that much for it to actually. I mean, it's surprising how, they made a build of the game and didn't think, wait, this is too easy. Or maybe that was the intention. Who knows?
Well, maybe they thought
I
it
think
was
that-
so good. They, like forget
Yeah.
the
Maybe it was like
Get
Bob
out
level,
there.
where he's just like, oh my god, like, game of the year.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that game was weird. I
Bob,
think
if
the other
you
one
hear
was
us, we
better.
love you.
Twins. Look at this. He'll be like, dubstep, yeah.
So cultured.
Anyway,
So moving on.
So yeah, first dislike. That was
So
decent.
we finally achieved next level YouTubing.
I mean, I do think Martin should get a dislike now. Though, to be fair, we've achieved ours.
Yes,
So.
I'm kind of looking forward to like uploading the Sony watch along reactions and just seeing. I want to see if Martin gets 2 dislikes, then technically he's winning.
Yeah. I think there are gonna be a few people that probably won't like my banter.
I'll tell you what, Martin. I'll give you one. I'll give you a dislike.
Oh, you give me a dislike. So I give you a dislike on your one as well.
That's illegal.
Maybe Martin is actually the one who disliked it.
Maybe Martin is.
Yeah, I start make a new account and I'm basically like, don't like
Martin
them.
was just like, they
That's a
watched the
dislike
Xbox
on it.
reveal without me.
Maybe it's like it's kind of a good thing getting likes and dislikes. Though, to be fair, I think.
No, because I agree because basically it's good to know what we've done wrong. Yeah.
And we can kind of gauge like what we did poorly. I guess maybe the guy should leave a comment.
Well, they didn't. So
be like, you guys suck.
Tell us why we suck. But speaking of continuously nicely from YouTube to us, obviously there's been a bit over a month since we've last recorded and last spoken to each other. I would just like to know what you guys have been playing in that sort of time frame.
So what haven't I been playing?
Well, yeah, lockdown is certainly making us all play games, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, Martin, you go first.
I recently played. Yeah, let me come to that. In
a big study game.
I recently I was actually playing Final Fantasy VIII.
Oh yes, yeah.
On the Switch version because it was on sale, and I'm like, yes, I need to get this on the Switch. And I played a bit. I played a little bit up to the point where I had to go and investigate some trouble at the training center at night. And then Bio was recording me again.
It's always Bioshock with you.
Well, after recording me, you're like, no, you need to complete us. Come back into the.
I have noticed Martin's actually been posting some great stuff on Twitter from Final Fantasy VIII.
I did see one of them did make me. I saw a video of Bioshock, which did make me laugh.
Martin's in charge of our Twitter. He's been doing a great job on it. He really has.
Oh yeah, I won't be able to go do that. No, I'd share one
exactly.
of them.
Yeah, no, I'm very pleased you're playing Final Fantasy VIII, if I'm honest with you. And I'm very glad that it's on sale. Although I think that sale has literally just ended.
Yes, it literally ended about 2 days ago, I think. No, actually, no, 4 days ago.
Good luck for anyone. Yeah, George, what have you been playing? Anything?
Let me go through.
Oh, here comes the notepad.
No,
here we go.
I'm trying to think of like all the games. So I have been playing that. I don't even know how to pronounce it actually. I'm gonna say it's Ghost of Tsushima. I think the team might design it, but I think comments if it isn't.
Amazing.
But it's an amazing game. Easily, like I said to you guys, like privately, like I would say it's definitely, without a doubt, so far, my game of the year. Like nothing else this year has come close to it so far. But then what actually has come out? So
I am probably going to pick it up on payday.
Yeah,
I am kind of desperate to play
I
it
feel
now.
bad. Yeah, I feel bad for saying it's like a good version of Assassin's Creed because, like, I don't know if people think Assassin's Creed's good anymore. I don't know, but it's like a better version of that with better combat and the story's pretty amazing and characters are great and the music's amazing and the game looks amazing and the game's just great. But
You know
George
what?
likes it.
It one of them. Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
You can probably stand in one place and just stare in the distance for
put it
hours.
this way, mine. I've actually used the photo mode in the game. Now, what game do you actually use the photo mode?
I think the last time I used the photo mode were on Starlink.
Disgusting. Disgusting.
Yeah, but I was playing the X-Wing, so you had the.
Yeah, that's fair.
Starlink. God. That's still a thing.
Then I've also been playing.
Here we go.
Trying to think. Oh, Devil May Cry 5. I've
Oh,
never played
really?
it, and yeah, it's on the Game Pass at the moment. So I was like, I'll download it, and it's actually really good.
Yes, I've heard. I heard it was actually thoroughly entertaining.
I heard good things about it, but it was one of those games I was like, oh, I don't know, that other Devil May Cry wasn't that great, and I was like, I'll get it at some point, and I just kind of forgot about it, and then it came on there, and I was like, I'll give it a download. Oh, and then I've been playing this game called Forger. Shannon's mum recommended it to me actually, and it's really good, but it is really addictive. It's probably something mine would really.
I was going to say, I don't think I've heard of that game.
I think I have heard it, but remind me again, like what the actual game.
It's kind of weird to explain. So you kind of have like one little land, and then on that land you kind of get resources, and then you kind of have to like level up that land, then buy more land, and then kill mobs to build more stuff.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'd watch some gameplay because like my explanation of it sucks.
I'll stick a trailer.
Yeah,
I'll stick a gameplay trailer on this video. I'll put one in so anyone else is a bit confused.
And
I think I had seen the trailer, and it did look interesting actually. Now remembering it.
Oh, he's decided to remember it now.
Is that you can kind of play. Like I didn't want to play it long, and I kind of went on. I was like, I'll give it a go. Sure, why not? So I tried it, and I was like, okay, this is pretty good. And then like 3 hours later, I was like, okay, come on.
It's the civilization rule, isn't it? You start playing a civilization game. Next minute, it's like 5 o'clock in the morning, and you're like, oh, the sun has risen.
Yeah, definitely.
And Gandhi is killing me.
There's another game. I haven't been playing it, but I did. Shannon has been playing it, but it's a sort of game that I think you would like, Alex. But I've been watching a lot of streams on it. It's called Ublitz.
Oh,
I don't know if
yes.
you've
No,
looked
I've
into
heard
it.
about this. Because a couple of YouTubers I follow have been talking about Ublitz. It sounds so bizarre, but it sounds really fun as well.
But it's the fact that you kind of have it's kind of like Pokemon, like with farming and stuff, but it's kind of a chill vibe. But the fact that you just do dance.
But yeah, that's literally the mechanic. Is just it's dance battles.
But she's loving it.
I mean, can you imagine if that was, can you imagine going to like the World Dance Championships, and that's how that's how you win a championship. You just bring your Ublitz along.
Yeah.
It's just when they kind of stand there and they're like just left little cool.
It does look insanely adorable. I'm also on the lookout for Temtem.
Oh yeah, they announced it, didn't they?
They announced it on the State of Play last night.
You could buy the.
So I was going to get on.
Yeah, you could buy the beta for £30 on Steam, which is sort of like, I might just wait a little bit.
Yeah, because I kind of want it because I know they've added a lot more like areas in the beta now. But at the same time, you're like, because I think me personally, I'd probably wait until it came out on Switch because they have announced it is going to come. Well, they're developing it for.
Yes,
Switch,
that's right.
But
yeah, I've been
on any of the console, I'll probably get it on the Switch just because you can play it
Yeah.
handheld.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think me and Adam were talking last night, and when 1010 come up, I went, oh yeah, I think they're also putting it on the Switch as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
What about
just
you,
trying
Alex?
to, like you two, I've had to sort of remember what I've actually played in the last month.
Because you played
So I'll start off by saying the obvious. I'm continually playing Pokemon. I was going to do a couple of online tournaments. That didn't really happen, unfortunately, which is kind of sucky. I'm very into Pokemon battling. I just don't really get around to doing it. Which is hilarious because I'll put all these teams together and then at the last minute I'm just sort of like, oh, actually, I don't think it's good enough. I'm not going to do it. And then you look at your Pokemon, they're just like, what?
No, your Pokemon like, come on, man.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I have an anxiety attack and just nothing happens. But obviously, yeah, Pokemon. I finished the Isle of Armor stuff. Obviously, it does feel as though it should have been in the main game. I'm not going to be surprised if Crown Tundra do the exact same thing. But there were continuously rumors. Oh, sorry.
Do you think Crown Tundra will be like more expensive than that?
No.
You don't.
You think it's going to be shorter?
I think it might be a little bit shorter just because of the promise of 4-person raids. Like you could do this mini dungeon crawling aspect of it. If that's that, then I think most of the resource will be going into that. I mean, I'm looking forward to it either way because there is some Pokemon coming back in Crown Tundra, which I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, and just the thing that it's more Pokemon.
Exactly. I mean, there's rumors of more expansion passes coming along. I don't believe that. I think they're just going to get on with the next thing. Like Pokemon Unite.
Which I'm looking forward to that game.
Yeah, I still want to play that. No, well,
that won't be out.
Definitely won't. What else have I been playing? I tried Smite on Switch for the first time. I think there is a lack of actual registered players in its database. Because I swear half the time I was teaming up with either the same people or really bad AI. Because I remember saying to George, and bearing in mind, me and George played the PS4 one quite a bit at uni, or just after uni. And, I always play a character called Ymir, and a lot of people don't credit Ymir because they think he's a bit crap. Ymir is my boy. I want to make that perfectly clear. He is the swag muffin.
To be fair, like if I can get the if we can get the crossplay working, I'll definitely.
Yeah, because I mean, it's interesting because I did a match. I did a match with Ymir, and bearing in mind most of the games I did with George, I would only really have maybe one kill, quite a few assists, and die once. In this game, I got 37 eliminations, 44 assists, and like 1 death. And I'm like, at the end of the game, I was like, that was definitely AI. That was totally it.
Just put it down to being God at the game.
Yeah, so Ymir, like literally, like after maybe the 5th kill, I was very giddy, and it was sort of like, oh my God, Ymir, you're so good right now. And then maybe after the 35th kill, I was like, no, this is AI. This is definitely AI.
Yeah.
Like something not right.
Exactly. The last game I will remember off the top of my head is one that's actually just come out a couple of days ago. Fall Guys, Ultimate Knockout. If you have not played this game and you have PlayStation 4 and a PlayStation Plus membership, you need this game. It's fantastic. It's great fun. It's basically Takeshi's Castle and Total Wipeout mixed together. It's fantastic. I did a couple of runs, and I was a little bit annoyed because so the aim of the game is that there's obviously so the game starts off with 60 people. Everyone is a player. There is no AI. There is no versus AI mode. It is all very much all v all. and you slowly whittle down through either a team game or an individual game until there's like 10 of you left. And then the final stage is basically stay on these platforms for as long as possible. Last one to fall into the water at the end wins. And I got to the final 10, and I was on the final platform, and there was, I could see people around me, and then I completely forgot you could grab other players.
Oh, can you? I thought that you had to put you only allowed to push
No,
them.
you could grab people and push them and pull them and throw them. Well, not throw them, but you could basically just ruin their day. This prick comes along. He grabs me and throws me in the slime. And I literally stood there thinking everything was fine, and then watching as my helpless character fell like Mufasa in The Lion King. You know, he was obviously Scar. You know, it's like, long live the king. You know, I falls my doom in the slime, but he's just cackling along. And I finished 5th in that one, and that's the highest I've ever got. I haven't won a game yet.
I mean, that's still pretty good.
Yeah, no,
That's
I'm
good.
pleased to get 5th. It's just I knew I could win it. I knew I could, if I just did not, if I saw that little prick coming, I could have done something.
Speaking of the game, did you see the amount of? Well, I think I haven't really looked into it too much, but I saw on like a news article they were saying that the game was getting review bombed on Steam.
Oh yes, I did hear that.
Yeah, did you know much more about
I
it?
heard it was connectioned.
I've only heard, because I've heard the game is like phenomenal. Like everyone loves it.
Yeah, I heard it was server issues on PC. I mean,
okay.
PlayStation 4 was completely fine.
Yeah.
Because I mean, ironically as well, the guy who pushed me into the slime ended up falling in after me. So he didn't win either.
No, well,
exactly. Karma,
you know,
there's me just be like, you know, you didn't have the high ground anymore.
Literally, as soon as you said that, I was like, I have the high ground and I was like, in my head, I was like, I'm ready, I'm going to drop it.
My geographical location is far superior. Oh, I love it.
Martin, if you haven't seen it, you haven't watched Star
we need to
Wars,
get Martin to watch
saying.
it.
I have watched it. You saw me it.
Oh, did we?
Did
so
we?
long ago.
Yes, you did. It's
so long ago, man. You clearly don't reference it enough that we know you've seen it.
Exactly, Martin. We need you to reference it more, clearly.
Okay.
Good, R2.
So, I guess that is a nice little stopping point as to what we've all been playing. Obviously, you can tell it's a great selection of games. Probably George is the only diverse player here.
Yeah, he had played more games than.
Oh, I love it. Like, oh, brilliant. So moving on from that, I guess the opening discussion is quite a simple one. Xbox, Ubisoft, and PlayStation all had presentations, shall we say, in the last month. Of course, you saw mine and George's reactions of the YouTube conference, of the Xbox conference.
No.
Which you can watch. Give it a dislike so you can get more dislikes than Martin.
That's how
Martin and I, of course, watched the State of Play literally last night. That video, should be up before this one. So give that a watch, dislike that as well. You know, I'm going to. I want to tally this at the end of the year. Who's going to get more dislikes? Neither of us watched the Ubisoft conference.
No, I didn't even know there was a Ubisoft conference, to be honest.
Yeah, I knew there was one, but now I try and look for any information on it. It just doesn't exist. And I forget about it.
I've watched maybe the last half hour or so. So I could tell you what happened from my experience, but it will only just be criticisms, if I'm honest. I don't know where you guys want to start. Should we start at Xbox? Would that seem logical for you two?
Or should we start at Ubisoft and get that?
That is fair. Let's go with Ubisoft out of the way. Guess what? It was garbage.
You know what? I didn't even look at anything about it. I think you messaged me saying, "Oh, are you watching it?" Tom? Like,
No,
I'm good.
Yeah, so I tuned in pretty late, and however, I did catch all of the new Assassin's Creed gameplay and them bragging about it. I think Assassin's Creed needs to be stopped.
Yeah, because I know when we were talking, because we did talk about that, didn't we? We did.
Yeah,
speak about
we
the
did.
game, and we kind of all came to agreement that we'd be perfectly happy for them to just rename it something else and just move on as like a whole
Yeah,
new franchise.
I
sort
think
of thing.
it's a shame, but I really didn't think Assassin's Creed sort of went anywhere after 3, or even with 3.
Well, 'cause that kind of felt like a end of the
Yeah.
story, didn't it? You didn't really need it.
Yeah.
And I feel like they know that, because even with the games, bear in mind I haven't played a lot of them after Black Flag. Really, I played bits here and there, but like they kind of add in like some new players, some I don't know, personal Abstergo, isn't it, or something? You just like kind of walk around and just do some things. You're like, okay, this has clearly got some amazing overarching story at the moment, but obviously without offending any Assassin's Creed fans.
Well, it's like
But you know what I mean.
especially with this one.
Like the assassin bits are obviously
Yeah,
better
I mean,
bits.
especially with this one, it's sort of like I don't understand where the assassin comes from. Because
I think the previous one there wasn't even an assassin in it, was it?
No, it was apparently not even the origin. It was in Greece, and the gameplay was completely different. So it did still Assassin's Creed, or have we gone beyond?
I think
Assassin's Creed now.
They're like, yeah. We have the emblem, like the symbol. It's on somebody's belt or something.
That feels pretty much it. I mean, especially with this Valhalla reveal, literally, because of course the signature weapon in Assassin's Creed is your little, wrist dagger, or as some people call it, the edgy sword.
Yeah, because they put it back in because it wasn't in Odyssey.
Well, it's the simple fact that they brought this in, and they mentioned it for about 5 seconds. They were literally like, "Oh, and don't forget your signature weapon," and she just stabbed someone with it. And that was all they mentioned of it. Yeah. It's like, oh, by the way, you can invade Scotland, and it's like, okay, and it's like you can pillage this village. It's like, okay. Any of this is going to be assassin related. You can also rebuild these villages to be your own. It's like, so why burn them?
But it get to the point like, where are the Templars? But my main goal is to track down the Templar.
It's like I'm expecting.
Yeah, man. There's some Templar who runs the goddamn shop down the road in that island.
He's considering in Scotland, he's probably like he runs a kilt shop. And you're burning all the kilts, so he's like coming out with both hands have got massive swords in. And he's like, oh, bloody
he sees these 2 Viking characters walking up to him. He's like, oh, screw it. It must be the assassins.
Like, you bloody assassins. Like, you come over here and you get all willing.
What else did they show at the conference?
So they did a bit more. They did an actual gameplay of Watch Dogs Legion.
Oh, okay. Surprisingly, that's probably
the only game I'm looking forward to from Ubisoft.
Yeah, it pretty much is.
That's only because it deals with the UK and stuff.
I think what's interesting as well is the fact that with Watch Dogs Legion, you could be anyone. So your story is actually probably going to be very different to everyone else's. Somebody might finish the game as a granny. Others might be this character or that character, and the fact that you can recruit anyone, like every NPC is a recruitable character, just sounds brilliant. Obviously, this is Ubisoft, so I'm taking this with a pinch of salt.
How glammed up was the game?
Remember Watch Dogs, people. Remember Watch Dogs.
Well, that's the thing. Like, obviously, we talk about that trailer, like
that Steep trailer as well. My God.
And then we talk about obviously later on when we get to the Xbox showcase, obviously a load of people aren't happy with the Halo gameplay trailer. So you're kind of like, well, do you want would you want them to show you the game as it is, or would you want them to show you the game as, you know, fully? Because I think they even had like when we get to the Xbox One, we'll talk about it more. But basically, they would say like, oh yeah, it's not even running on Xbox; it's running on like the PC and things. And like,
It's running on Dom Matric juice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't need to tell us that, but fine, whatever. But you know, like sometimes they like, you know, like well, I think it was Watch Dogs or The Division, but they, you know, even Rainbow Six, like all like the game trailers when they came out, it looked like it was running on like, you know, it's like the best game ever made. Then you get it and you're like, what is this?
Yeah, because I mean, for quite a while, wasn't it, the Ubisoft sort of mentality when it came to conferences and reveal trailers was, let's get some amateur voice actors, give them a script, and make them react to certain things within the trailer or within the gameplay.
Was it Division 2? One of them was really funny, and you're just like, oh,
it was definitely a Division game. It was either the first one or the second one where she's just like, hey guys, just got like a gold weapon, and
you're sitting there
it's like I couldn't care about this gold weapon, you know. And then
but then you kind of you're like, how do I talk to her? Like if I was playing a game with you guys, I'd be sitting there, I'd be like, I don't even think we would really talk about the game that much.
No.
Or like in that sort of sense. So I guess they have to, but at the same time, why make it so?
I mean,
cringy?
you could do the opposite and just do what EA did with I want to say it was Battlefield 4. I can't remember exactly which Battlefield it was, but it was the one where the last clip was him jumping off a horse, firing a rocket launcher into a car, and watching it explode in front of him. And the streamer's just like, oh my god, I just did that. And like it cut back to one of the developers who's just like, wow, he jumped off a horse and shot the car with a rocket launcher. How cool was that? Like really hammy.
I mean, that is pretty
yeah, and it's like, no, it's really cool. You're like really like, you know, you made it shit. It's a really good moment, Mr. EA employee, but you made it sound so bad. Like, it's like, no, he should have done it while he was doing a backflip. That would have been more impressive.
Oh, now I'm imagining Battlefield with backflips and rocket launchers.
Yeah,
I can tell you what that's called.
is
It's
no
called
soccer,
Titanfall.
man.
You know, we're like, screw Titanfall,
Exactly,
we don't need it no more.
Robots. It's robots.
What do you mean Titanfall is a better game?
That's not true, and you know it. Come over here so I can smack you with my giant robot mech. His name is Charlie.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, so Ubisoft, honestly, yeah, you didn't really need to do an hour showcasing your stuff. Although I have seen people appraising the new Assassin's Creed, saying it looks good
like
live the series.
I've heard good things about it.
See.
If I wasn't like Assassin's, like just, you know, kind of like not necessarily like fed up with Assassin's Creed, I feel because I haven't shown interest in the others that it's kind of made me lose interest in like whatever comes out for the franchise.
That's the thing, isn't it? Because let's be honest, Unity was a mess. Assassin's Creed Unity was a mess. I mean, who in their right mind does a reveal trailer 2 days before it releases and spoils the biggest plot twist in the game? Where from 18th century France to World War One. Who does that? Like, that is complete a marketing disaster, that. And I'm not surprised that game didn't do well. I heard the story was pretty stupid as well. He's like married to a Templar or something. I don't know. I like played the first mission. I was like, nah, I'm all right.
See, that was interesting. The co-op was quite fun in that game, and that was the only one that really tried it.
Yeah, they kind of dropped it, didn't they?
I forgot that they had a co-op on that.
Yeah, the co-op was really, well, as bad as the game was. I think I played it. Must have been like afterwards.
It just goes to show, really, isn't it? The mentality. It's just if the game fails, then obviously every mechanic within that game is not worth picking up.
Yeah, because like well, Syndicate was like quite heavy with the two
Oh,
assassins
I
sort
remember
of thing.
watching you play it.
Imagine that as co-op. I would have been like,
Yeah.
oh, cool. I mean, I hate the game, but
Syndicate was
you know,
terrible.
yeah.
You know what? I forgot
played,
about that.
like a couple of hours of it, and I remember being like, "Oh my god,
The-
what is this?"
the-
And it was the whole
Oh,
punching mechanic.
God.
My head in because I was like, "Why would I want to be punching? Like, just get your sword out or
For
something."
anyone who didn't play Assassin's Creed Syndicate, thank God you didn't. Well done. Secondly, the punching mechanic that George is referring to is pretty much the same three animations over and over again. You would push the enemy, knee him in the gut, punch him against the face. Push the enemy, knee him in the gut, punch him in the face, and you'll keep doing that until the health bar goes down. You know,
I mean,
that's worth your time. That's worth £60.
But it's funny. It's a lot of people love that game. Like, I guess it's just like each their own. I think it's hard because like Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood were so good.
Yes, yeah. Brotherhood is my favorite. I had so many sort of thoughts in my idea when thoughts in my head. My God. When you send your assassins off to various other countries, and a thought in my head was when I sent one of my assassins to England, was that I thought it was around the same time as Robin Hood. So I had this brilliant idea of just Robin Hood trying to fight off the Sheriff of Nottingham. Suddenly an assassin turns up to help out, and it's like, I'm sorry, who the bloody hell are you? I was like, that would have been amazing. I want that game. I want like an assassin to help Robin Hood defeat the Sheriff of Nottingham. Yeah.
See, I'm surprised they haven't
because
done
they
that
did Syndicate, Mike.
I know.
You know what games people want? They want Syndicate.
They want a British
Do they
version.
really? Do they?
Oh dear. But
Okay.
yeah, so that's Ubisoft. Ubisoft, you didn't make me Ubi hard, lesbian. I'm cutting that out. I'm cutting that out. It's disgusting.
Yeah, don't ever say that again.
I know we want those dislikes, but
I'm trying
I
to
didn't
beat
say
you
you
two
wanted
in
them
the
that bad.
dislike column. So yeah, let's talk about Xbox. Xbox, very strong showcase. George, would you like to talk about Halo and the sort of arguments that the community
good game. Yeah, so basically a lot of people aren't that happy with the graphics in it at all, really, and they find the gameplay to be like quite stale. And I think the issue was like, I think those that were watching it through YouTube and stuff, like the stream was quite bad as well. Because I remember when I was watching the video, I was like, oh man, mine seems really laggy. And I was like, nah, it could be the game. The game could just be like not that great. But obviously, where you're like a big fan, you kind of like, oh, okay, I can see what they're going for. They're kind of going for like the old, like the original Halo sort of thing. So they're trying to make it look that similar like style. But I heard they were trying to go like a Destiny sort of game, and I was like, but you never know. The game could be pretty good, but yeah, I'm kind of hesitant. But it's on Game Pass, so I'm not too worried.
It's interesting what you're saying about the graphics of Halo didn't look that impressive. I only personally felt as though they just absolutely overhauled it with lens flare.
Yeah, well, the main bit, I don't know if you've watched the trailer fairly recently, but it's like the sort of the backdrop sort of thing. Like there's like all those pillars. It might just be like the style they've gone for, but it kind of looks like, if you look far enough, it looks like something like, I don't know, Minecraft's a bit far, but it certainly looks blocky. But it might just be the style that they're
I've heard hilariously,
So-
I've heard people say it's the Pokemon Sword and Shield of 2020. As in,
Yeah,
you've made it
thing
look
is, like,
better, but you didn't. Because of course,
I'm kind of hoping, like, at the same time, I'm kind of like, right. Well, it's kind of good if they've shown us what it looks like, you know, completely like now. Like, they haven't made it look a lot better than, so when we get the game on release, it looks, you know, like worse than what it does. So you can only think it can look better
That's
than what
true.
it did in that
That's true.
reveal.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're like, come on, that's your big
Yeah.
game. That's your big selling.
It's the reason why you buy the Xbox, isn't it?
When people go to the showcase, they're like, okay, I want to see some Halo sort of thing. Now, whether it could have been like, a couple of months or something, and they show it at the next conference and the game looks like tons better and they've got some better textures on the stuff or the lighting sorted. But they're like making like, obviously this is coming from quite a big Halo fan, so I'm sorry, but like some of the stuff they're like making, they're like, oh yeah, it's because we're dealing with like the lighting or something. And you're like, yeah, other games do that.
I think what kind of disappointed me the most was just sort of the expectations that people were having going into the conference and going into the Xbox showcase. Because George watched the pre-show. I watched maybe like the last half hour of the pre-show. I can't remember what pre-show you were watching. Were you watching IGN's?
No, I was watching Xbox One.
Yeah, so I was watching IGN, and they had all these streamers. I had no idea who they were on, and it seemed as though they were just there to get a quick paycheck. But like they were saying, when they asked them like, "Oh, what are you expecting from this new Halo game?" One of them was just like, "Oh, it needs to play like Halo 2. It needs to not be anything like Halo 5. It needs to have like the music from Halo 3, but the cutscenes from Halo 4." And it was just like,
you got it wrong, man. You get the cutscenes from Halo Master Chief Collection, Halo 2 Anniversary. Jesus, get it right.
Oh my god, the rage of George right now.
Yeah, you literally have Rage George.
Halo all over again.
But yeah, I know what you mean. Like, it's one of those games where people go in with so many expectations, and like if they try and do something a bit different, people are like, "Oh, what the hell?" And then if you don't do anything different, they're like, "Oh, what the hell?"
Yeah, no, I agree on that one. Either they complain about, "Oh, you didn't do anything," or about that, "Oh, you haven't done enough." Like, well, what do you want it to be?
It's
the amount of like sort of like, I don't know what you'd call it, like recovery or like trying to patch it up and be like, no, it's okay, it's fine. Like some of the replies, people like, I think like, I can't remember if it was like the Xbox marketing person or something, but basically he was like, yeah, it's because the stream, you can't show the full quality of the game. He's like, so we've uploaded a 4K version of the gameplay, and then you go and watch the gameplay, you're like, yeah, it looks a bit better. It doesn't fix the issue that we're talking about though. But then there's also like, obviously they did that. There was that leak of like Halo being free to play. The multiplayer was free to play or something.
Oh yes,
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Like, okay. It's like, look, just come back to us next showcase and just maybe show us the multiplayer, and then show us like a little bit more of the campaign or something, or like a different sort of level that's not outside, just so you can get like a different feel from it all, sort of thing.
I'm just sort of
like, we get it. The game's working in progress, so it's not finished yet.
I completely agree, and I think as though these people who are saying, "Oh, it needs to play like Halo 2, it needs all of this from all the other Halos," you're not really opening yourself up to letting your franchise sort of expand on new ideas. Which obviously I think is a pretty big deal. Otherwise, how are you supposed to learn from stuff that doesn't work? And how are you supposed to improve from that? And I think, if the actual community sort of sat down and looked for it, they could see there has been changes. But it's their opinion at the end of the day, and everyone's entitled to one. It's just, how do Xbox progress from it, basically.
Yeah. So my profile picture.
Oh my god! I've only just noticed.
Yeah, no, I noticed.
Specifically for that game, he's become a well-known group in the Halo franchise at the moment. His name's Craig, I think. I'm gonna say
he's amazing though.
Which and even the company is like now getting on board with the memes and stuff. They're just like, oh, fine, whatever. So if he doesn't have a major part in Halo Infinite, wasted opportunity.
There'll be riots.
Why on the street, people? Why is on the street?
George is
It's
waiting to
funny,
download the day one
the best
edition,
of-
and he's just sitting there, just be like, "Where's my grade?
Right.
Where's my grade?"
That's true. But the rest of the conference, yeah, it was okay. I was trying to think, like, obviously, we'll probably talk about the like which one's better. Obviously, we got probably another Sony one at some point, and probably another Xbox one as well. But like originally, I came out and I was like, yeah, they showed a couple of things like I wanted to be there, and a couple of things I was like, oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
But then, like, I kind of, it's weird. Like, you kind of like, obviously, they made a big deal about it being like gameplay, or maybe just games. I can't remember which way they said, but basically, I was, like some of like, was it Hellblade? We had like a little trailer and like nothing else, and you're kind of like, okay, we're moving on now. And I thought we were moving on to like another bit of.
Oh yes,
like,
it was
talking about
Hellblade.
it.
Yes.
But then it was kind of just went into like another game. And you're like, oh. Okay.
Honestly, that exact same situation happened with the state of play. There was me and Martin were just reflecting on a previous game. I believe it was the sort of cyberpunk, futuristic, like fighting horror game.
Yeah,
which
with
me and
like
Martin thought it was amazing. Like, it looked incredible.
But it was interesting. It was interesting the fact that it was showing like a game before, and like, okay, they're cool, fancy, and then immediately it's going to that trailer. I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
we
so
didn't
it jumped
expect
into a
that.
trailer called Chess Atlas or something, with no indication and no explanation whatsoever. It just shoved us into a match. A bunch of things happened, and then it went away again. So we didn't actually learn anything from the trailer at all. It was literally just, here's a knockoff chess that has no explanation behind it. And it absolutely felt like filler. It really did, and it kind of dampened my mood a bit.
Because it was a bit weird, like out of nowhere state of play announcement, wasn't it?
Yeah, no,
very
it literally is like the last
It was
minute.
very
I think.
strange.
Yeah, and then they kind of just like, yeah, we're just gonna show some PS4 and PSVR bits, maybe some third-party PS5 bits, and you're like, oh, okay, fair enough.
I mean, me and Martin, we both agreed that the start of the state of play was strong, and it basically went downhill.
I think after the heartway point, I think that when it started to kind of lag, and then by the end, it like, oh, it really let down.
I think honestly, I kind of wish I didn't stay up to watch it.
I feel bad because I even went, oh, I might come on late.
Yeah, it was like Crash was very much the high point, and while there was other considerable high points, Goddess definitely was not a high point.
Godfall would kind of kill the mood.
To be fair, like when they announce these things, you kind of like, I don't know, like sometimes with some of them, like if you watch the Ubisoft one, you're not going to be like, oh yeah, they're going to show some great stuff, I can't wait to watch it, sort of thing. But like with Xbox and like probably more so PlayStation tend to show more, I don't know, like stuff that draws you to it, sort of thing. Yeah. Whereas Xbox kind of, shows stuff, but there's never really anything you're like, oh my god, I need that game right now, sort of thing. And that's coming from somebody to get an Xbox probably. But when you're sitting up and you're waiting for it, and then you kind of just get deflated by the end, and you kind of, there's nothing really that stood out. Or if it has, you're already like aware of it beforehand anyway. You're sitting there waiting for your big cool announcements and stuff. So,
well, that what we were hoping when we were watching the state of play last night. We thought, oh, they're gonna end on a high note, and we see we watched it, like, oh, well, that's what they're gonna show us now.
It's very much. I think what kind of deflated me the most was just as soon as Goddess came up, and they were talking about all the weapons and the gameplay. As soon as they said the sentence, this isn't the final product. We are still harnessing the power of future technology. That was me done. I was just sort of like, that is the stupidest thing you could have ever said.
You know what's stupid in that trailer that kind of got me and flipped my share when he told me, go, oh, you get the weapon called extendable pole. Extendable
You're not allowed to call it a
pole.
spear, a lot, a pike.
I mean, you look at it, yeah.
It's a extendable pole.
game sounds horrendous. I haven't even watched anything for it yet.
No,
I'll
but
make
the
sure
thing, if it were a pole, well, any weapon, like any sort of weapon or blade at the end of it, I think, okay, it's a pole. But the fact,
Okay,
if you look at it, it was a spear. And like, no, it's a spear.
I'm just gonna go quickly through the article quickly.
Oh
you know,
yes.
the one that's got the showcase.
Just to give you a heads
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
George. Goddess, the whole conference, the whole state of play last night was about 50 minutes long.
Yeah.
Goddess got given 10 minutes of that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Really?
they got an exceptional amount of time and didn't really achieve much with it.
Yeah, because it's weird, isn't it? Because like, there's some games on there like that would be quite cool. Like, well, I'm looking for them now. I'm like, oh, yeah, that would have been cool to see. But like, depending on what they show, you're probably like, oh god, forget it.
Yeah.
VR games probably look like the highlight.
Oh yes, Hitman. Hitman VR absolutely sounds like a step in the right direction. Walking around.
I mean, the Star Wars game apparently is really good. The
I'm
VR.
just waiting for the
Fade, I think.
Just Dance bit in that game. You know, I want Han Solo to go solo.
But you're lucky, man. That PlayStation don't have Connect. I'm just saying.
I heard Don Matrix outside Sony building though. Let me in.
The thing is, like, talking about Don Matrix, like we'll talk about it later when we get to the Avengers Spider-Man thing.
Oh yes.
And I can't remember who said it, but essentially they were like, well, if you want to play as Spider-Man, get a PS4. And I was like,
it's an exact copy.
You cannot tell me
It's
that.
such an exact copy. So I would say, just before we move on to the next topic, I personally am going to give the conference thumbs up so far to Xbox. They just had far more better things going on.
They showed some good games, like Medium.
Oh, Medium! My days, that looked incredible.
Like
even like the Obsidian stuff. Like, yeah, they didn't show their new game fully, but they had 3 games at conference. One was DLC, obviously, but Psychonauts 2. That trailer.
That would look cool.
I'm not even like a big Psychonauts fan, but I remember just seeing Jack Black, and I was like,
as soon as you saw Jack Black, you knew it was going to be good.
Yeah.
Exactly. Fable was a lovely surprise.
Fable, that was.
I was really surprised.
I mean, I'm kind of surprised as well. I'm still hoping they make a Peter Molyneux type character to let us beat up, but one could dream.
Imagine. I mean, you can probably make him yourself.
Oh God, can you imagine?
Just let your cat.
God, let a Peter Molyneux run around.
The issue with well, I wouldn't. It's not really an issue because I know a lot of people are praising it at the moment. Like a lot of the Xboxes, like they're like it's called. Their like showcase idea is basically like let's sell Game Pass.
Yes,
which is good. I like the idea of them like kind of. I'm not gonna say moving away from the console, but they're kind of like, well, we can get people playing it on PC. We can get people playing on Xbox because I know they're kind of trying to move away from exclusives. Keeping more exclusive to the Game Pass and stuff.
Well, to be honest, they want to try to go into more handheld, I think, community as well.
Yeah, I did see that they've got a deal with Samsung now, haven't they? With the Game Pass.
World premiere.
Yeah.
I know that Apple is all like, nope, nope. Which is
I think Apple still want to make their own because I heard that they want to make their own sort of like game server.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't want to play Angry Birds, right? You know what I mean?
Why has nobody got their hands up? That's what it's going to be. It's going to be, please put your hands up if you're interested in Angry Birds, and just what?
You're like, well, tough. You're going to play it.
Well, tough is Angry Birds again.
But I agree. It was the. I haven't seen the other 2, but let's face it, Ubisoft's not exactly.
No, Ubisoft was definitely last. State of Play number 2, Xbox number 1. At the moment, obviously,
Which is funny though, because the previous Sony one, other than GTA, was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just this month really disappointed stuff.
I'm kind of hoping they'll do one next month,
Yeah,
and I'm hoping Xbox do one next month, but then also announce the price, and then Sony announce their price, and everyone's happy, and everyone pre-orders. And
suddenly, the gaming world returns to normal.
Yes.
Right? And we all know that is
Nintendo,
not true.
We have no game.
See, we were talking about it last night, and I went to Ala, but look, if they actually turn around, both Xbox and Sony, and turn around and go, look, due with the fact that of what's going on around the world, we may have to delay releasing our new console. I'd be okay with that. But I don't need to know how much it is and when it's going to come out.
I think it's a good point where we'll close this discussion for now, and we'll pick it back up probably in next episode, should there be any more reveals on all that. So next, George has a little game for us.
Okay, we're playing that now.
Yeah. I think it's time for a good old game after a heavy discussion, where Martin just shouts.
I don't know if you guys want to. Yeah. So basically, the aim of the quiz, I guess we'll call it a quiz or we'll call it a game, is basically I'm going to say a game title, and between the two of you, whoever's closest to the year of release gets a point, essentially.
You're going down, Martin.
I'm under pressure right now.
I thought you were going to be, the Mr. Burns reference and just turn around and be like, "Yes, Mr. McFarlane."
Oh no, I was going to be the cowardly person I am. I'm going.
So we can do like a little test one if you guys want, just one.
I don't mind, to be honest.
Pick one of that.
Yeah, well, we can. I don't
get
mind jumping into it.
Now, bear in mind, these are from Google, and I did try and double check the things because the thing was like when you like suggested the idea of it, I was like, oh yeah, that's all right, that's fine. And then you start double checking, and I'm like, Jesus, what year is that?
It all went so well in my head.
In the game, I was like, oh no, I wouldn't do good at this. I'll be rubbish at this. And it's not even like the age difference or anything. It's just like so many games come out, and I know these like big games. I did try and choose ones that I was hoping you guys would like know, sort of thing. But at the same time, I was like, did that really come out that year?
Oh, I'm looking forward to this now. If I'm honest, I'm curious. What you're going to throw at us.
So I've got a fair few. I won't say few, probably like I don't know how many I don't count, but essentially, like we can go through and then maybe we can go through them all and keep some, or put some at the end of the podcast sort of thing.
Why not?
If people get bored, they don't.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first one we're going to do is Grand Theft Auto 3. There's no particular reason why I chose one.
Okay,
Ooh.
Grand Theft Auto 3. Gosh, that's a difficult one.
Oh god, I tried to think with
one, but I was like, I'll start off with that. I've never played it, so
okay.
I can't even.
I watched someone played it, but
all I can recommend is you can try and think like, if you've seen someone or played it. And
I've seen someone use Grand Theft Auto 3 as their end of year project, George. You were there.
Yes.
That was
well, that didn't come out that year. I'll tell you that much.
Oh dear. I'm gonna go 2006.
It's fine.
And if we have to be more specific, I'm gonna say October 2006.
No, you're okay. It's just I'm only doing years.
Yep.
So I'm not gonna go.
okay. You know what? I might go for 2003 on that one.
Hey, Martin, you got a point. It was 2001.
Oh shoot!
No.
That one was football. I literally thought, it may be 2001, but
Seriously?
I won't risk it.
Seems like I would double check it. Just double check.
Wow!
If it's not,
I was not thinking 2001.
No, because I was thinking when would the fourth one came out, and I think it got to be some point in 2006.
Oh
so
my
it's got to
god!
be
Yeah,
earlier.
2006 was like near the end of the PlayStation 2's life cycle. Oh, Alex, you twat.
22nd October 2001. Like I said, it's hard. Like you don't when you think about it, you're like, oh man, when was something coming out? When were people?
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah. Okay. So Martin got a point. Somebody write that down.
Martin
Somebody
is
write that
warming
down.
up.
Right, I'm writing it down. I got
Okay.
some.
Well, write down that pen
Yeah,
you
exactly.
got last week.
You know,
Yes.
we're trying to win some. We're
Hey,
trying to win
my
some
green-
sticky
my
notes this
green.
week.
Last month. You know the one I mean.
So,
Okay. So then
1 point.
next one. Wait, this isn't right. What is this? Okay. Now, this one's hard because I know someone should get it over the other one, but if he doesn't, it's kind of embarrassing. But, you know.
No pressure.
So, Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past.
Oh, Link to the Past.
Link to the past.
Am I allowed to ask you
I
what
guess.
platform it came on?
It
Oh.
came on the
The
NES,
NES. Right.
Okay, there you go.
on the
Right.
Super NES. I want to say 1995.
I'm gonna go 94.
Okay, Alex, you won.
Oh,
It was 1991.
bloody hell!
apparently.
Oh crap!
Well, you guys said, I can't remember what year you said I have to go like the furthest back I'm allowed to go. But
Yeah.
basically, so Martin, you embarrassed me.
I know. I banned myself.
No, you just embarrassed me. That was it. Dishonored you.
Dishonor my cow.
I brought you into my home.
Okay. So we'll go with Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, that is. I want to say that's 97.
I'm thinking of 97 as well.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to give it to Alex. I could give it a draw.
I'm happy to give it a draw.
Yeah. Okay, it's 97.
yeah.
It is
Yeah, I
97,
thought it was.
boys.
I'm proud I got that one. Proud I got
So
that
so
one.
far,
Because there's a twist.
so
It's
so
the
far,
remake, and you got it wrong.
I'm sorry, yours.
Right. So still one each.
Okay. Yeah.
It
Like
took,
I said,
no, it-
thousands of them. So the gauges. Huh? What's
yeah,
that,
so
Martin?
far, it 2-all. We both, me and Ali got 2 points so far.
No. Okay. The next one is God of War for PS4 because I originally put God of War down and I was like, huh.
Wait, are we talking about the latest with the later
Yeah,
one?
we're talking about the PlayStation 4
Boy.
release, so you know that helps out.
No, was it? Is
Yeah, that one.
Boy.
Would that be
I'm hungry.
2018?
Alex, what do you think?
God. I'm actually quite sort of stuck on this. I'm gonna say 2018.
Yeah, you're both correct.
Oh. I was sort of torn between 2018 and 2017.
Yeah, it's
Um,
hard, isn't it? Because like sometimes you think, oh, did it come out at the
But
end
I think
of the
Horizon
year, or
Zero
did it,
Dawn
like,
came out in 2017.
Yeah, you're lucky that's not.
See, I was the opposite. I thought it was 2018 to 2019, but I thought no, I don't think anything came. I don't think that game came out
Right,
last year.
Yeah.
Okay, you
Let's
ready
do
for the
this.
next one?
Oh. Here we go.
Oh,
Call of Duty.
That-
This one I
Is
would
that
not
it?
go.
Like the very
yeah, what?
Call of
The
Duty.
ve-
the
Very
very
first
first
one.
Call of Duty game. Oh my god.
Yep, good luck. Exactly, because no one heard of them. Nobody knew where they were.
Cool.
I'm gonna go for a wild gamble. I'm gonna go for 1999. I think it's before 2000.
No, I think that's way too far.
That's like elderly.
I'm going to say 2004.
Okay, Alex, you won. It's
Oh,
2003.
bloody hell, really?
Pretty
Damn.
close though. Well done. I mean, I don't know what Martin was thinking. He was clearly playing like the prehistoric polygon.
He was,
No, I thought,
Martin was playing
yeah.
Dino Crisis. Right?
He was
You
like,
know, Dino Crisis, the true inspiration of Call of Duty.
Okay, we'll go for a nicer one. I think. Okay, we're going to go with No, this one was weird because when I looked it up, they gave me 2 years. I'm not doing that
Okay.
one. Crash Bandicoot.
Oh, that's easy. 96.
Okay, there you go. I mean, Martin, you can take that one if you want.
No, he said nothing. That's my point.
Okay. I don't. No, you can't say it, Martin, because where Alex used the word, he said that's easy, and then he just
Yeah,
bam.
I know. Yeah,
So
he got me. Yeah, he got me to it. He beat me to the punch. I think.
I literally heard you say 2019.
Fuck all, you know.
Okay. It's up to you if you give each other the point. I don't care.
No, I think I let Alec because I will because I copied him as a VC thing.
Exactly.
So it's myself to agree with. Oh yeah, in 1996.
Stand down.
Stand down, man. Okay, we're going to go with the first Dead Space.
Oh, Christ.
Isn't the company dead now?
It's a shame Dead Space is like a dead franchise now.
I know.
Yeah.
Well,
I've seen another one, to be fair.
Dead Space 1 was amazing.
because second one was okay, but then the third one,
Okay.
I think it like.
I'm going for 2008.
Yeah. Spoilers.
Oh, you're kidding.
When I went damn, Martin, go on, take a guess.
Okay, 2007.
Okay, you're wrong.
Oh my god.
2008. Yeah, spot on, man. That's
Stop
why
it,
when I went damn, I was like, Martin knows. I'm just gonna have to.
Okay, I'm quite proud of myself for actually getting these right. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, so far you got 6. I still got 3.
Hey, Martin, I'll find one for you, my man. Okay.
I was gonna say, how many are we doing? Like, what's it up to?
How many points
So,
do you want to get up to? Oh,
Let's do best of 15. So, if I get this next
okay.
one right, I win.
Okay. So I've got to pick a good one then. Okay, and then I've got those 2 ones. Okay, fine. Fine. We're going to go with Silent Hill.
Oh. Silent Hill 1, yeah?
Come on, Martin. Yeah,
Okay.
the first one.
Good game.
Um,
I kind of prefer it over Silent Hill 2 in a way, and I know that sounds very controversial.
Yeah, they're kind of different, aren't they? Yeah.
Silent Hill 2 is still an amazing game.
But
Martin, I'll let you pick a year.
I want to go for 1996 because it was still in the PlayStation era.
okay.
99?
Yeah, 99. 99.
99.
Okay.
You won it.
I'm sorry, I didn't pick what Martin chose.
Okay.
What did Martin pick?
I picked 1996. I went 3
he was
years.
going back to like Resident Evil times.
Damn, but I am the winner.
Okay, so I'm gonna do 2 more, but it doesn't really matter about points.
Well, yeah, because I'm the winner.
It's
So
just curious to know if you guys knew the year. Okay, so Resident Evil 2 remake.
That'd be 2000. That would be.
I know exactly what George has done. Come on, Martin, pick a year.
Come on.
Wait. I don't trust you guys. Wait. Remit? Are you talking about not do remit on the PS4, but on like another console?
I don't start twisting words.
No. Because if I say 2019, I'm gonna get it wrong.
If you say no, okay, don't say it then. Say something else.
Come on, Martin.
Come on.
I'm thinking.
Marty, tell us your secrets, Marty. Tell us about the chalice.
Bear in mind, I've only got 1 year here, so you know, if you say anything other than not that
this
year,
is what
then
makes it
you're off.
hilarious. It is so easy, but we've made it so Martin second guessed himself to hell.
I hate you guys.
Yes, Martin, you know the answer.
I know. No,
You
I
know
know.
the answer. Come on.
Stop getting me to say 2019.
Okay, don't say
don't say it.
2019 then.
Not gonna say 2019, but you guys twisting it to make me want to say
What year are
2019.
you gonna say?
I don't know.
Okay, right, we've got to count to
And then
5.
I will say my guess.
Or should we say 19? And then you say your guess.
You want me to say 19? I know what you guys like.
One.
Come on. 1,
2,
let's go.
3, 4, 5.
13.
13.
Yes.
2013.
So you think Resident Evil 2 Remake came out in 2013?
I want to say 19, but you guys doing it. You don't.
Okay,
I don't
okay.
want to say 19.
Okay. George, was it
Wrong.
2019
And it
by any chance?
It was
Oh,
2019, Alex.
thank you very much.
Congratulations, my good sir.
I'm out of here. I'm going.
I mean, I'm just gonna. I'll forward you the link, Martin. The year it came out.
Can I just say that was so
The
sly.
release.
That was so
Wait,
sly, but that
wait.
was amazing.
What did I got think? What is the thing I got wrong from
Yes.
the
Yes, it
third
was.
podcast?
Yes.
Some of the
was.
things, you guys.
Nice little throwback to episode 1 there.
Yes,
Where
there
Martin
you go.
completely forgot
Okay,
that Resident Evil came out on the console he played it on.
Okay, the last one. This is the bonus round, and then maybe I'll put the list up of the other ones that we didn't include. Because there's quite a lot. Like there's Dark Souls, things like that. So the last one is Alien Colonial Marines. Remember that game?
Yes, I remember playing a demo at So what year was it when I went to Expo on that one?
Exactly, what year was it?
Yeah, I'm trying to
Exactly
think
right.
what year. I don't know. I don't know. It was 14 or 15.
Oh, see, I'm thinking way earlier than that. I'm thinking 2012.
I'd probably go in like a fine line between you two, and you might get.
Oh, it's 2013.
But it's 13.
Yeah, that was the year that game came out. It's also the year that game died.
Trash.
Yeah, it didn't last long.
Yeah, apparently it was like one guy's line of code. Or
Yeah, it
something.
was literally one person's line of code that screwed the whole thing over. We played a beta version at an expo in Brighton. It was amazing. Fantastic. And then, yeah, when it came to the final product, you literally just sit there and think, what the hell just happened? What happened?
Yeah, because that was the thing. Cause I played it in London Expo, and I thought, okay, this could be an interesting game. But no, they somehow screw it up by some one code.
Dump on it. Forget it.
Somebody
Just
took a
get
dump
now.
on it. Oh, well, thank you very much, George, for that game. Thank you for
Yeah,
that.
thank you.
I am the
Yours.
winner.
Oh,
So,
Yeah, you get imaginary post-it
I'm
notes.
going to abuse those imaginary post-it notes. George, can you tell us what the prize is for the next game?
the next game. Well, it's simple, really. It's called This Jar of Dirt.
Nice. Guess
Nice.
what's inside it?
I know what
Oh,
the goddamn Resident Evil 2 remake from 2013 or whatever mine said.
Bug you. Bug you all.
oh dear. Maybe we
wanna
should
know what?
continuously ask Martin this question every single episode until he actually says it correctly.
No.
Oh,
He won't say it. He gets so scared of
Exactly.
saying it. And what's worse is it's one of his favourite games that year.
I
it's your
know.
favorite game.
I should
You
know.
played it.
No, well,
You loved it.
You even
You know,
forgot
yeah.
that Resident Evil 2 was on PlayStation when I asked you like what was like
Right.
so many things.
What did you think you played it?
So many things.
Oh, I played it on you.
Wii U. Oh my god. That was the thing. Ladies and gentlemen, the Video Game Podcast proudly presents Storytime, Episode 1, The Origins of A12. When you hear the words A12, us English folk straight away would say, what motorway is that? The answer is the motorway that connects London to Norfolk, but that isn't what I'm talking about. A12 is something else entirely. This is the story of A12, the Bulbasaur. Now, I'm not sure about its actual origins per se, so this story is about how I came across A12 myself. I remember it was a winter's eve during my first year of university, where I met George Carey, who was very much trying to destroy every chair I ever sat on. He would often spring like a gazelle, running away from me, an angry bear. Pokemon X and Y were about 2 months old at this point. I remember seeing the reveal trailers earlier that year and decided that I would get back into Pokemon. I am what you would consider as an OG Pokemon fan. I grew up with Pokemon Red and Blue, and I traded with my friends with that little thing known as a link cable. I bet most of you wouldn't even know what a link cable is these days, but if you do, you're an OG. I remember trading in the back of a taxi on the way to school. That honestly feels like a lifetime ago now. With X and Y, they introduced a new trading mechanic called Wonder Trade. You trade something, and you get a random Pokemon back. I decided that I would have a go at competitive Pokemon once again. Having found Smogon not that long previously, and watched some official Pokemon matches on the YouTube channel, most notably the World Championship of 2011. So, I was busy making a team for a friendly tournament that was being held locally in my area, and did some Wonder Trading myself. One of the trades came back with a Bulbasaur. Now, at first, I didn't really think much of it, but then something clicked. The game simply said, take care of A12. This dawned on me, as Bulbasaur was branded. The original trainer was obviously breeding for that perfect Pokemon, but instead of letting it have its own name, its own identity, it was branded and traded away, for it was deemed a failure. I couldn't understand it. So I took A12, I placed it in my party, and tried to figure out why it was traded away. Had a good nature, increasing special attack and decreasing attack. What is known as a modest nature. I looked at its moveset. The only special move on there was Sludge Bomb. Nothing too wild or too weird. But then I figured it out. The reason why this Bulbasaur was traded away was because it was deemed its speed stat was not good enough. Now, for some Pokemon, it's good to have its individual values as high as possible. But it's honestly not the end of the world. You could win matches without certain values. It's how your team functions and how your team gels together that gets you places. For example, you don't activate the rain if you are trying to spam Flamethrower, because why would you do that? As soon as I figured this out, it clicked with me that this Bulbasaur was now special. I vowed to keep any Pokemon that had its name changed to something similar to A12. I came across some others, unfortunate victims. For example, I found a Blaziken that was traded to me, simply called 1076. I honestly don't understand why this was called 1076. Was it a shiny hunt? Wouldn't make sense if it was a shiny hunt. The only way you could do it is through eggs. It didn't make any sense to me. I honestly couldn't figure it out. And then I came across a Froakie, which was literally labeled number 6. So anyway, once I told my friends, they couldn't quite believe it themselves, but I kept them all. And after some bonding with A12, and then after some time thinking and hesitating, I decided that I would use A12 for the upcoming tournament. I trained it up. It evolved into a brilliant Venusaur. I gave it moves and a team to work around it. Unfortunately, I don't actually really remember what team I exactly used. I just remember I had a Gliscor and a Porygon 2. The Porygon 2 was called Cyberquack, and is another dear favourite of mine. I still have that Cyberquack with me. We ended up winning that tournament. Only just, mind you. But a win is a win. And I proved that you can win with any Pokemon. You just need to know how to use it. Which is what I think is beautiful about Pokemon. I love looking online and finding new ideas, new teams, new Pokemon to try out. Someone won the World Championships with Pachirisu. Pachirisu is a Pikachu clone. A lot of people would say that Pachirisu is weak. really weak. But this just proves that you can win if you just believe in your team and your ideas. So the question is, where is A12 now? Well, thanks to Pokemon's core idea of bringing Pokemon wherever you go, A12 was transferred to Sun and Moon. It very much enjoyed the beaches and the sun. Then, of course, with Generation 8 and with Sword and Shield, it travelled through my home region. Well, since Sword and Shield is based on the UK. And I still use it today for battles. Thanks to the Pokemon Company adding a battle-ready mark, I can bring any Pokemon from any previous generations and use it online. It's also really neat for another example. I brought a Lapras from Pokemon Red and Blue. That's a 25-year-old Lapras. I'm impressed. I hope this little story inspired you to take a look at Pokemon in a new light. If you're a regular Pokemon player, why don't you find that one Pokemon that you've had buried away somewhere and bring it back, give it a bit of love again, and reminisce about how you met it. If we ever cross paths online, I hope we have a good battle. And who knows, maybe we'll trade. All in all, thank you for listening. Right. So we've discussed, obviously, I said a little story about my little Bulbasaur, who's now a Venusaur, who's now probably eating all the food at my camp. I'm now broke. So I guess the last subject, and I don't think it's worth putting too much into this just because of, I know it's new, but I really don't think we're going to hear the end of this. I think this is going to go on for a bit. I'm, of course, talking about what George mentioned earlier in the fact that Spider-Man is only going to be on the PlayStation Avengers game. You are not seeing him at all on Xbox. George, you were the person who sort of brought this to our attention. I feel as though it would be best if you sort of start this conversation off.
Yeah, well, I think PlayStation announced it, didn't they? I think, or somebody announced it on Twitter and stuff, and then just saying like, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man is coming to the Avengers game, and I think they announced that he was coming next year, so he's not coming on release anyway. But they kind of made a big deal, it's just on PlayStation exclusive. They didn't say whether it's timed or not. Well, I'm pretty sure they made it. It sounded pretty clear like it was just going to be on PlayStation. That's it. There's no discussion. A lot of people aren't happy. A lot of people are just like, oh my god, But that's the thing. You're kind of separating your fan base. The game's not even out yet, and you're already separating the players into like, well, I can't play Spidey on that one sort of thing. So why would
awkward little tribes?
Yeah.
No, it sounds like they're basically, no, if you want to play Spider-Man, you need to get the console. We are not putting him on any other console.
Yeah, essentially.
God damn it, Don Matrick.
God damn it, Don Matrick.
Strikes again.
But then, like I was saying privately to you, like I was saying that they're trying to go for this like Destiny sort of live platform game. But later down the line, when they want to do crossplay, does that mean we'll be playing with people who can play as Spider-Man, or do we all get Spider-Man, or do you never have that and you're just like, okay, whatever.
Xbox gets Spooderman.
Could you imagine like Xbox?
Imagine.
Who could we have? I don't know. We don't have anyone good.
They have Cyclops.
Yeah, God. But the only plus side from this is that there's some been pretty funny memes about it. So
Well, yeah, exactly. That seems to be the only sort of selling point of this point, isn't it?
But a lot of people were like comparing it to like could you remember? I can't remember which number Soul Calibur it was. It was the one where you had like Yoda on Xbox and Darth Vader on.
Oh, that was Soul Calibur.
Yeah.
I think Soul Calibur
number
5.
Okay.
Yeah, it's either 4 or 5.
Yeah. So, but people compare it to that, but it's. I mean, yeah, you could say it's similar, but I think it's a big difference from a game like this where I think they've said there's like 6 characters or something to a game like to a fighting game sort of thing.
Yeah.
They're very different styles, and it's kind of like, okay, why would you do that though? I mean, yeah, it will increase sales for like the PlayStation version, but I don't know if it will actually increase sales as a whole for the game itself, sort of thing. Like, I feel like some people, not a lot of people, but some people will probably won't even bother getting it at all, just because they can't play Spidey. But then they probably would have been getting it before anyway. So I don't know. I guess you're getting it for the Avengers, but
then again, are we interested in buying the
Spider-Man.
Avengers?
No.
There we go.
Am I interested in buying Spider-Man with the Avengers? Hell yeah. Am I
Spider-Man featuring
No.
Avengers. What a film that would be. Yeah, I think what George has said is completely true and correct. This is complete lunacy in a way. They're trying to make it sound as though, only Spider-Man fans actually prefer a PlayStation. I'm kind of curious as to what was the marketing decision behind this. What was the sort of thought process? I mean, I know Spider-Man, Sony owns the films. However, you would have thought the gaming version of Spider-Man would have been, contracted a bit differently.
No, because I think Sony had the full right of Spider-Man.
But yeah, but the point I'm trying to say is you would have thought, considering the age that we're in and the year that we're in, you would have thought, show a bit of leniency because you're not actually losing much money at all. Actually, if anything, you're not actually losing money. If anything, Marvel should have stepped in and said, no, both of you are getting it, end of conversation.
I think they should have just said, like, we're going to have Spider-Man. As much as I hate timed exclusives, like, probably...
It would have made sense.
It probably would be better than,
the one time that a timed exclusive would actually be, like, a good idea. Like, okay, so Sony owns Spider-Man, or in some capacity, in some shape or form, sort of thing. Probably, and they're like, okay, well, you can play Spider-Man exclusively on the PS4 and PS5 for a year. Once that year's done, they'll then potentially work on crossplay or something, and then everyone is at the same level, so everyone can play Spider-Man.
Yes,
and I don't doubt they won't do that, because I feel like it'll be something like that will be constantly complained about with the game, like no matter what. Like, the game will release and it'll probably have like average to good reviews, I imagine. And Xbox will be like, players on Xbox, players on PC will be like, oh, okay, yeah, the game's pretty good. Would be good if we had Spider-Man though,
I mean, the argument I would make as well is, I know people are saying, well, Sony owns Spider-Man. They could do what they want. My argument is, they do that, but then you have Tomb Raider. And Tomb Raider was a Sony exclusive for quite a while. And then Xbox came along and said, we would like Tomb Raider on our console. So Xbox had to pay them for that. So my only thought process going into this is that are Sony basically saying they were waiting for Xbox to pay up to have Spider-Man in the Xbox version?
Could be. I mean,
could be that. I can't.
Makes you think how much Sony would pay you, I guess.
Well, the rumor of the Tomb Raider was that Xbox paid Square Enix $10 million to have Tomb Raider exclusivity for a year. I find that absolute bonkers.
Which one was that? That was the third one, wasn't it?
No, I think it was the. It might have been actually. Yeah.
Was it Rise or Shadow?
I think it was Shadow.
Yeah, Shadow wasn't even that good. No, it was alright. It just,
there wasn't much to it.
That was the one done by Crystal Dynamics, wasn't it?
Yes.
Which is the one that's doing Avengers.
Mm.
They like money.
felt like a hammer hitting a nail on the head there, George.
Yeah.
Suddenly it all clicks, and suddenly we all realise what's going on.
Comes together now. It's like that big Big Groove where he's like, it's all coming together.
I do like a plan.
But yeah, like you said, there's not really much more you can. Like, it's been done. It's done. Like, there's
exactly.
Unless they come back on a decision and go, yeah, everyone can have Spider-Man now.
Thing is,
Yeah, I
though,
think
do we think Xbox is actually going to come out and say, okay, they have Spider-Man, but we have this character?
Nah. The fact that they haven't actually fully made the character yet
That's true.
it's
Yeah.
kind of like a afterthought. Like they've kind of, yeah, we kind of want Spider-Man, and then they probably had some sort of deal with PlayStation, and they probably thought, okay, yeah, well, we can get it working by next year. Next year sound good?
Yeah.
Because they announced Hawkeye like before the game's released, but it's coming out I think next year as well, or end of this year. So the fact that the game isn't even out and they're already announcing, admittedly, is free. The character's free, but
See, that just screams to me that Square Enix is rushing this game out the door.
well, it
Seemed
was
like- yeah, it sounded
supposed
like
to
it.
come out in like March, wasn't it?
I mean, well, yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm not entirely surprised considering Square's track record of video games over the last decade.
Yeah.
Versus 13 became 15. Final Fantasy VII Remake was delayed so much to the point where people were actually thinking it was cancelled. Kingdom Hearts 3, which I still think is the worst Kingdom Hearts game I've ever played.
Well, that took 15 years, wasn't it?
Oh, way too long, and it wasn't worth the hype. That and I still don't understand the plot.
Oh, I don't. There's a couple of good worlds in it. And
Exactly.
that's about it, really.
It's just hearts and Keyblade and hearts.
Darkness.
Yeah.
Darkness. I don't like darkness. Good for you. Oh yeah, that's Riku at the end. He's just like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think this conversation about Avengers is going to go away. I actually don't think it's going to do that well.
No. See, the issue is we've kind of had that. I know obviously this is a video game talk, but I feel like it's relevant. So we've kind of had the end of that Marvel sort of. I know obviously we got other films coming, but after Endgame, you're kind of that's a good finish. And we haven't had many Marvel stuff. Well, we've had obviously Spider-Man, but after that we haven't had much else. So obviously it's like the perfect time to release the game because there's no other Marvel bits at the moment. But at the same time, you're like, do I want to still play knockoff Avengers? Not really. But then again, like I said, I'll probably get it, and I'll let you guys know what I think. Obviously, I'm not.
Would you be willing when you review it? Would you be willing to have a review rating, potentially of America's ass?
Could do. I was even going
as
to do that.
The highest honor.
And then the lowest one is I don't know.
4-2.
4-2. I'll be like, and it's 4 Dark Worlds.
I'll give 4 Dark Worlds out of 10, and it's like, oh crap, that's a bad score.
And that could be 4 as in character, or as in 4 as in the number 4.
Oh God, I hate that film. I hate 4 Dark World.
I think I've only watched that maybe twice.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah,
like
I
any
think I
time
was
I do
about-
like a big Marvel MCU watch, I'm like, I could watch it, but then again I have the power to skip it. So I will
Have the
skip
power
it.
to skip it. Oh, I love it. I think this is a lovely little stopping point to close today's episode.
Agreed.
I would say before our little farewell, a little bit of closing thoughts, obviously, from everyone. Martin, have you got any closing thoughts on today's episode, or just thoughts in general?
Yeah, he's got a couple closing thoughts on the year.
On a year, yes, on a certain year.
This year or 2019?
I think it was 2019, to be honest.
Yeah.
On it, like I say, with the whole conflict that's been going on the last couple of months. Like I said, that we did have some really good ones, and I think there are some that are not worth watching.
Yes.
And I think either they were watching it, or they start basically, we haven't really got any games at the moment, so we're giving you this to show you. Because I must admit, because I don't think we haven't spoken about it, but I know when Nintendo did the mini direct, I think there were only a few games that kind of like, oh, okay, well, worth watching it, but then kind of like at the same time, like not really worth my 11-minute sitting there watching it.
No, I've got to agree with you on that. I completely forgot about Nintendo's Direct simply because there was nothing on there that was really sort of standing out to me. I know lots of people are, crazy about Shin Megami Tensei, and yeah, that's fair. But
But the thing is, what more annoying me,
you could have just released the trailer and nobody would have noticed.
Yeah, but the thing is, what more annoying me that the fact that when Japan did their duet, their one was longer and they had to show more games.
Oh yeah.
Only
Yeah.
because it only were them game were released in Japan.
Bunch of hentai games.
God damn it, Martin.
Probably. I think there were a few anime.
Oh yeah, I bet you know.
Hentai games.
Yeah, but no, I think some of the I think great. No, I also think some of the comfort we actually watched, it kind of like, okay, they have some good moments, but again, there's some that doesn't like, oh, I'm gonna buy the game.
Yeah. That's a very, very good closing statement by Martin there. George, have you got anything you would like to share for closing thought?
Not like a big one, but kind of similar to Martin, but kind of in a different respect. Like, I think it's good with the whole like COVID situation that they're still like trying to get like the information of games. Like, it's not like, obviously as a business, like it's obviously great for them as well, but it's still good that they're able to show off some of the games, and obviously with how hard their probably working conditions are as well. Not like in the respect that we were talking about earlier, but like obviously we're all coping with it. So, the people working these jobs are also doing the same. But I just think it's good to like note that it's probably quite hard to do as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably just that really.
Okay, that's fair. So I would say my closing thoughts is I feel as though I need to go a semi different route to how you two have gone down, just to give a bit of parody. Obviously, yeah, through these tough times, there are some things that we really need to be more addressed on, especially with the supposed working conditions that people are being forced to work in, to meet these deadlines, to make these games come out, and to make money. The fact is, everyone is going to make a loss. It's just going to be a case of how can you control that loss. But to bring a bit of positivity to these closing thoughts, I'm just really glad we can actually play as Dingo Dahl in Crash 4.
Yes.
It looks amazing, and the fact that Dingo Dahl retired his flamethrower to open up a diner and then watch that diner explode.
I also thought that was quite cool how they got him into the game, how he fixed it with the actual story.
Exactly. I'm looking forward to Crash 4 a lot. I would like them to still explain a bit more about how gems are collected, because they just mentioned that there are gems in the games, and it's kind of like, I've seen that there are gems hidden, but is it going to be like a classic Crash where there's 2 gems per level? One is for collecting all the boxes, one is like hidden challenge, or is there like more emphasis? Because from what I've seen, it's like 350 boxes a level, which is like, I'm sorry, what? It just sounds a bit too mad for me.
Yeah.
Other than that, I guess my next closing thought, my other closing thought is just simply how much I'm looking forward to playing Final Fantasy 14 again. For people who aren't in the know, MMO, Final Fantasy 14 is an MMO. MMO is a Final Fantasy 14. It is going. I don't know how to explain this really. The base game and the first expansion, George might need to correct me, is free to play.
Yep.
And you can have a character up to level 60. And it is from, which is crazy.
Isn't it? The amount that they give you for, I mean, most
This
people
is for free.
that would play that game for free, and you do that, you probably, I'm not saying that the game's that boring, like that you kind of give up and just think, oh, done. But if you're playing to level 60 and you're playing at least the main game and a little bit of Heaven's Ward and whatnot, you're probably getting like the most out of the game, especially if you're playing
Exactly.
it like over a long period of time, sort of thing, and just play it every now and again. You're definitely going to get your enjoyment from it, and
I think what it's going to do as well is it's going to encourage people to actually, in the long run, spend.
Yeah.
Which I'm completely fine with if I have a really good time on it.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm hoping.
In the same, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna rinse that free to play, and then I'm gonna leave.
I'm very much looking forward to hopefully having George and Martin with me, doing our little dungeons and our little parties. I think we've assigned roles, or we've just said I'm the tank of us three.
To be fair, I might give healing a go, and then if I get like spammed to hell by I need healing, I'll be like, nope, I'm DPS now.
I think if you do, you should totally make Craig a healer.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That'll just be hilarious. It'd be like, oh look, it's Craig. So, oh yeah, he's a healer now.
Okay.
He's gonna.
One of the good things, I don't remember if you can remember. We played it quite a bit, but the music in the game, like some of those dungeons, so good.
Yeah, there's definitely some raid bosses that have some very good music. I'm looking forward to actually just showing Martin more of the Final Fantasy XIV world, because it is really good. It is really expansive.
And the story in 14 was really good.
The story is actually really impressive. I thought it was going to be complete garbage.
From an MMO, you're like, wow.
I mean, considering this is the Final Fantasy XIV was the same writers as Final Fantasy XIII, I was really sketchy, And then I started playing 14, and I was like, oh wait, no, it's nothing like 13. We're good. Like, we're fine, people.
I can't remember when we started playing it. I can't remember. I think we just picked it up and we just started.
Yeah, I think we started. I think we just randomly started playing it, and then I think actually, to be fair, that would be a very good story for next episode or something. A couple of experiences that me and George had in Final Fantasy XIV.
We could show off the pictures. Yes.
We could show some pictures of. I definitely want to talk about the story where me and you were abandoned by a certain someone.
Yeah.
And it was just me, you, and a healer while we're fighting. We're literally fighting Cthulhu Wizard.
Oh, lovely.
I'll explain that.
Anyway, yeah. The other person just sit there basically and watch.
Yeah. They sat there watching, and then they disconnected and claimed that their internet let them down. It's like, no, you did.
Now that I think about it, like, obviously I know this is the closing bit, but in the previous episode when we talked about good favorite gaming experiences and stuff like that, now that I think about it, it probably is. I wouldn't say it's like my favorite gaming experience, but it's probably one of my most memorable gaming experiences. And it probably is from Final Fantasy XIV. And you'll know the one because we talk about it, quite a bit. But it probably is like one of my biggest memories from gaming is the Titan fight.
Oh.
But
yes.
it was the time limit, and we kind of, it was with random people, and I don't think I've had so much fun with playing with random players that you don't even know, but you've had that 55 battle connection where you.
I could not stop sweating during that fight.
I think it was quite hot on the day as well. But we were I think we were on the party, weren't we? Come on, we can do this. We can do this. And
it's a really good story. I think. Yeah, I think that's worth putting in.
For a couple of them.
We'll put that into episode 4. Our next episode 4, hopefully will be recorded maybe at the end of the month, beginning of September. We're going to see how the industry goes. Obviously, if there is any conferences between them, I'm sure
all of us are sitting
all of us can
Christ.
watch it and see how many dislikes we get for that.
Yes, exactly.
But I think we've had a good episode today.
Yeah. It's been
Yeah,
good.
I think it all
I
good.
think it's been a good, fun episode. Obviously, episode 3 is called Live Storytelling.
Not 2019.
Oh, yeah, sorry, we'll change it to
Oh,
2019.
sorry. It could be the live storytelling of 2019.
So, from myself, have a good one. From Martin
Stay safe.
and
what
from
do I have
George.
to say? Wash your hands. There you go.
There you go. 40 seconds.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Obviously, stay safe. Do not do anything stupid. Wear a mask. It's not that difficult. Don't poke holes in your mask either, like some people have. That's defeating the purpose of a mask. But obviously, stay safe and keep gaming and have a good night. Take care.